you hadn't yet noticed, I am in the process of killing myself. I would call it a midlife crisis, but I was never one for paradox. To tell the truth, I have found my unwillingness to live spurned solely by my inability to accept the continual inconvenience of unhappiness. I just thought of that, just now. I came to this conclusion Wednesday evening. No, that was yesterday. Thursday. It was raining. My wife, Joanna, had prepared the typical tenderloin to complement the banality of what had become our nightly ritual. She wore a blue dress.
Are you sure?
Of course, Joanna. I'm rarely, if ever, wrong.
I don't own a blue dress, Arthur.
Joanna, do not.
It's just that blue has never done me any favors.
It's blue!
Arthur, there's no need to yell.
Much better. Exactly as I remember. So, there we were, Wednesday night. Thursday night. A night. It was actually rather tolerable until Joanna disrupted the ambiance.
How is everything?
I don't know why she felt the need to speak at every meal. I found my eyes glued to my plate to spare myself the sight of her. I swear, there was a time when she was attractive, but the steam from my mostly mashed potatoes had clouded my memory. We married rather hastily, she and I. Although, if I were to go back, I wouldn't change much of anything. Except the woman. No, I must admit, she tries. She really tries. If anything, I shouldn't have led her on with that proposal. Fine. It was at this precise moment that I realized exactly how devoid of meaning my life had become. Or always been. I don't know which is worse. In many ways, my time on this earth could be compared to that very tenderloin, with me just carving and carving my way through it until there was nothing left but indigestion. I didn't think that metaphor through all the way, but trying to follow my intentions. Look, if you're not yet sympathetic to my apathy towards life, just allow me to revert to earlier in the meal. I feel certain that you will see my point.
Arthur, I need some money.
For what, dears?
For the affair I am having with another man.
Affair? You're being unfaithful?
Yes, and it is getting rather expensive, I'm afraid.
Well, I suppose as your husband, it is my job to provide for you.
Indeed. Indeed, it is indeed.
How much are we discussing?
Just enough for a lavish vacationing.
A vacationing?
Well, of course.
To where, might I ask?
Oh, someplace warm, I hope, I must ask. Fritz, for the details.
Fritz? My best man at our wedding?
He looked gorgeous in that tuxedo.
You were marrying me.
Well, yes, but I was ogling him from before we were married. You always held such a grudge against him.
You're sleeping with him currently.
Oh, details, Arthur.
It is quite humiliating, Joanna, that I should be the one to point out these details to you.
You're right, Arthur. Let's get back to the money.
What is the anticipated duration of this vacationing?
As long as it takes.
As long as what takes?
For you to realize I don't love you anymore.
You don't
Don't say it!
love me anymore?
No! Oh, no! No! Arthur! Now Fritz and I cannot possibly go vacationing! Why must you ruin everything?
You said it to me, blatantly!
I thought you weren't listening.
I always listen!
Not like Fritz.
Fritz is deaf!
Precisely! Fritz listens with his eyes. Do you listen with your eyes, Arthur?
I am sure that I could.
I am very sure you couldn't.
Joanna.
I'm going out. Rachel should be by around 11 to pick up Clifton.
When did Clifton get here?
You were napping. As usual. I told her not to wake you.
I would have gladly risen for my only grandson.
So, you love him. Then you love your precious grandson. I assume, is that what I'm supposed to make of your little tantrum?
Of course I love my grandson.
Then why are you eating him?
You don't mean to tell me.
That's right, Arthur. I cooked Clifton. I cooked him to prove you never truly loved him.
I'm sorry. I wasn't attuned to the texture. Well, now that it's put into context, it is more readily apparent.
Fritz. It was Clifton right away. Upon the first bite, he could identify not only the presence of your precious grandson, but the plum sauce with which I basted him.
Oh, I suppose that means that Fritz loves Clifton more than I do.
Don't be ridiculous, Arthur. Fritz loves with his eyes, not with his tongue.
Oh, those magical eyes of Fritz, Well. Fritz, speak of the devil. It's been too long, old friend. What have you been up to lately, besides 5 or 6 inches in my white?
He can't hear you, Arthur.
Then make him open his eyes.
I will be out shortly, Fritz. Go warm up the car.
Well, that was a pleasant reunion. Always nice to see old friends. And what did you expect me to tell Rachel, by the way? Oh, I'm so sorry, Rachel, dearest, but your mother cooked your son in an act of defiance against me.
Arthur, please.
What happened with us, Joanna?
Well, if you must know, you became successful and I grew to resent you and began to look for ways to undermine you with my gorgonic passive aggression.
Well, that was rather forward for being so backward. Gorgonic?
Oh! Words, blah.
Oh, says my wife with the lover.
That's what they're like. They're like a lover. Your mistress, the dictionary, letting you use her, creating a separate life for the two of you. Quite a masturbatory practice, you and your words.
Joanna, I love you. You and only you. You're the only one for me.
How unfortunate.
Joanna, wait, please. Can we at least finish our grandson together?
How is everything?